Stephen Hedrick. We're here at Dale Hollow One Stop in Salina, Tennessee, real close to the shores of Dale Hollow Lake. Something I want to educate people about. It's very, very important because I hear so many people that come to Dale Hollow, and guess what they talk about? I found a honey hole. They'll come here in the month of June and say, man, I have found a place I can come here and catch fish whenever I want to. I sort of grin about it and think about it real hard, and I know that they've not. You know, they can come back in the same month, in the month of June, and they can do that, okay? But they got to remember some things. And what we're going to talk about right now is two things that's very important. It's thermocline and water level. Those two things are so important because I'll give you an example here. We've drawn out some artwork here that I want to explain to a lot of people. People come in June, the thermocline's at 22 feet and your water level is at a certain level. Okay, it's up high, usually in June. Okay, now when you go to this bank and you catch these fish, it's like 22 feet down to the thermocline. And at that thermocline, there may be a brush pile, there may be a stump, there may be something right there that's holding those fish, a weed line, anything like that can hold those fish. So they think they found a honey hole. What happens is they come back in July. The thermocline has changed now to 25 feet. The water's got hotter. Usually a thermocline will drop about a foot a week as summer progresses. A lot of people don't know that, but it does. Now, a thermocline at 25 feet, your water level has dropped 3 feet lower than what it was in June. Now, look at your brush pile now. Over here it's right here and it was holding fish. Now it's not. And the reason why is because at this level, the thermocline's down here, it's too hot. There's not enough oxygen in the water and it's just too hot, okay? So, now the fish have moved and left this bank, and what they do is they go to this bank. This ink pen is not working the best of us. What they do is they come to this bank. And the reason is because over here, your thermocline, there's a stump and there's some grass right here. It's perfect depth. Plenty of oxygen, cooler water, and they've moved over here. Then what happens? People come in August. Now the thermocline is 28 feet, okay? Then at 28 feet, and water level drops 6 more feet, okay? The water levels drop 6 more feet. Now, where your stump and your grass was is up in hot water, like over here, and with your thermocline down here, they've moved over to this bank because now the grass line and the weed line or the stumps or structure has changed. So remember, try to keep a log of every time you come in June for at least 3 years. Keep a log in July, keep you a log in August of these two things. They're very, very important because I want you to come here and catch fish. Here's a couple of baits that I like to use this time of year, especially when there's no moon out, okay? I love to throw jigs. A lot of people out there know that I make a hair jig and I like to throw them, but there's a lot of other baits I like to throw at that. We have here a Punisher shaky head, and this Punisher shaky head is a little bit larger than most people's shaky head, and it's a lot stouter hook. And I like to use it for night fishing and in the spring because of that stout hook. Now here's a sweet beaver that we've got. Check out how we rig this thing. We just take that ring, push it up, push the ring up. Let me start over. It's down here like this. You just push the ring up, okay? You just take your little sweet beaver, line it up, just twist it on there, okay? When you twist that thing on there, just keep twisting it, keep twisting it. All right, then you push that back down. You take this big hook and you take it right back here like this. See how it's rigged? Then rip the back of that plastic so there's no question about hook set. You want to make sure you do that because a lot of people don't do that. And then just bury the very tip of that hook underneath there, just like that. Now, when you set the hook, look what happens. Pops right loose. And it's weedless fishing it that way. So that's very, very important to remember. A lot of people don't do it like that, and that's the bait right there. It's awesome looking. Hook's way back in the back, got a wide gap. That's what I like to use. Here's another bait that we use a lot, I like to use for these smallmouth in the summertime, is this right here. This is on a shaky head. We've done rigged it up here, and what we've done, it's a Senko, but in the water, the tail will float. And imagine you sitting there shaking this, and look what it would do in the water. I mean, it's going crazy in the water. And a lot of people don't throw those things, but they're awesome in the summertime. You can see how it works right there. In that water, just try to remember that will be floating, and you can just imagine what that looks like in the water. And you're just sitting there shaking it. So that's a couple of baits that we've got that we like to use this time of year. Hope you go out, Dale Hollow, have a wonderful time fishing.
Hey guys, we want to talk a little bit about our fishing report this week. There's a couple things that I found out that really work real well for you. A lot of guys saying, well, I've caught one, caught two, maybe catch three. Well, I said, well, what size fish are you catching? Well, they're catching anywhere from 14 to 16, 17-inch fish. Just a little tip to show you what I've been doing that's given me a little increase. I'm taking a Sweet Beaver type trailer. And I'm taking the shaky head and fishing that on 10-pound line here. I'm using the fluorescent line. I usually start a little bit before dark. I play around a little bit in that 14, 15, 16 feet range. But as night progresses, I've been taking this half ounce, quarter ounce, something like that, and fishing a little bit deeper. And I've been getting to 18 to 20, 21-inch fish. That's really been a super good combination for me. The reason I like that, I can get it deeper. And something I want you to remember, a lot of folks get away from, when you get in smallmouth fishing, they get away from Texas rigging. You've also got some options to take a bait similar to that, something that's a crawfish lookalike. Take a Texas rig, fish something in a Texas rig style, and you're going to catch largemouth, you're going to catch smallmouth, just about any bass species that's in there. As summer gets on, you know, the water starts getting hot and you pull up on a bank and you're not catching many. The thing you got to remember is as water gets hot, them fish get deeper. They'll move a little bit. They'll follow that thermocline. As that thermocline gets deeper, just work that bait out a little bit deeper. And I like to concentrate on some of them deep weed beds because that green vegetation is constantly putting off oxygen, and that's going to give you some more advantage and some spots to fish in. And when you get the moon out, don't forget your spinner baits. Your spinner baits is an awesome technique during the summertime in Dale Hollow Lake in this clear water. Take them spinner baits with the big Colorado blades, tips the top of that grass, fish the weed edges. Sometimes to find that grass, once you locate it, just keep working around it, and you're going to find the edges. When you find them edges, I think, in my opinion, that's going to be your sweet spot to get bit on a spinnerbait rod.